Hey there, Star Wars fans, Jonesy the Mandalorian here again from the Hyperspace Database, bringing you today's awesome topic, the Havoc Marauder. The Havoc Marauder was a modified Omicron-class attack shuttle developed by the Cygnus Spaceworks Corporation prior to the Clone Wars, and was primarily used as a transport for the elite clone group, the Bad Batch. The Marauder was around 125 feet long and 50 feet wide. It was equipped with a hyperdrive and deflector shields. The attack shuttle was armed with 2 forward heavy laser cannons and 3 wingtip light laser cannons, and 1 rear-facing blaster turret. The Marauder was a medium-sized attack shuttle used by the elite modified clone squadron known as Clone Force 99. It was roughly the same size as a new-class shuttle, or slightly smaller than the later Sentinel-class shuttle of the Empire. It was designed to be an attack shuttle, so it was fairly well armed for a small transport, though it was meant as an infiltration vehicle primarily. The Bad Batch used the ship on many covert missions during the Clone Wars, where they assisted clone forces on besieged worlds and took part in many Black Ops assignments, causing massive damage while emerging relatively unscathed. Let's take a small tour through this ship. There is not much in the way of extra room in this transport, as it was meant for function rather than comfort. The main boarding ramp leads us into the cockpit of the ship, which allowed for 4 beings to sit in it comfortably in rotating captain chairs, while still having a small amount of room for other beings to stand in and around them. Going towards the rear of the ship from here, we enter the main cabin space, where there are 2 technical stations that are used for research and communications, as well as several passenger seats that are equipped with crash harnesses for emergency landings. This is where many strategy meetings and discussions took place aboard the ship, though there were some times when it took place in the cockpit instead. The furthest room back in the ship was the small cargo hold, which did not house all that much, just the weapons kits of the Bad Batch, plus some of their spare parts and food rations, though there was also a gonk droid to supply additional power in an emergency. The furthest, most aft part of the ship was the rear laser turret bay, which was accessed by climbing a small ladder from the cargo hold. There was a secondary access from this turret to the outside, though this was only used in extreme emergencies. While there were not any bunks on the ship, they made do with what they had, often sleeping in the captain's chairs or on the floor, which was at least protected from the elements, unlike sleeping out in the field and catching sleep wherever they could, which is what the Bad Batch is used to doing. Despite this fact, the Marauder was a great ship for the Bad Batch, and it was used quite extensively in the Clone Wars and following Order 66. We are about to go into some pretty heavy spoiler content for the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch TV series, so if you haven't seen either of those, stop this video and go watch them. We don't want to spoil it for you. We are introduced to the Bad Batch in the final season of the Clone Wars TV show, when Commander Cody and Captain Rex propose a mission to infiltrate an enemy tactical outpost, and enlist the help of the elite clone squad to aid them in their mission. The Bad Batch discover that the enemy is using one of their own troopers to formulate strategies, and take the Marauder along with Captain Rex and Anakin Skywalker to destroy the source of the signal. The group ends up rescuing a very damaged clone trooper Echo, who was hooked up to many machines to keep him alive, though he was made half machine, half clone. The team was able to extract Echo and bring him back to the Republic, where he provided vital intelligence in order to take down the Separatist leader Admiral Trench. Echo then joined the Bad Batch, which brought the team up to 5 members: Tech, Crosshair, Hunter, Echo, and Wrecker. The Bad Batch would later be seen aiding another clone squad during Order 66, and afterwards would go on the run from the newly formed Empire, adding another crew member in Omega, a small girl from Camino, and losing Crosshair to the Empire. The Marauder and the Bad Batch would go on several missions after this point, mostly mercenary missions to earn credits in order to live. Since they weren't Republic soldiers anymore, they had to earn their living somehow. They ran into many friendly familiar faces, and encountered even more famous faces that were hunting them down, traveling from world to world aboard the Marauder. The clones became an effective independent fighting force after the rise of the Empire, and were bound to go on many more adventures after this point with the Havoc Marauder. While it may not have been very functional as a mobile home, it was just right for Clone Force 99. And with the Empire cracking down on former members of the Republic, it was a good thing that the Bad Batch had a ship that they could rely on to get them out of the dicey situations that naturally came with their line of work. Want to know more about great Star Wars topics just like this one? Be sure to stick around to the end for some secret trivia, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and the bell to never miss an episode. Be sure to chat with me in the comments too, because I really want to hear from you. Super special shout out to my Gold Captain level Patreon supporters, Miss 2003, Nick Sutphin, and Matthew Scott. Your support is so appreciated and you keep the show going. Thank you very much. If you like what I do here on the channel, consider heading over to Patreon to support me, and you can check the show out on social media for more news and channel updates. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.